Hello and welcome to Ballers, the home of women's football across England, Wales and Scotland. We're in Cheltenham for the second round of the Vitality Women's FA Cup, the second qualifying round, and right now Cheltenham Town are playing Brislington Ladies as the corner comes in behind me. We'll have more on this game for you a little bit later on. But coming up, we'll be chatting to England Deaflympian Claire Stancliff. Also, we're in Glasgow with globe-trotting star Zaneta Wyne. But first, Samantha Miller went to Hertfordshire to meet two siblings that play for Arsenal.
Hi, I'm Tegan, I'm 13 and I play for Arsenal Girls. Watch this.
So when did you start playing for Arsenal and how did it happen?
So I started playing for Arsenal about last season and I got into the trials and there were 200 girls but 3 got chosen and I got into the top 3 that got chosen to play for Arsenal.
And what's the best thing about playing for Arsenal?
Well, it's just like the standard that I get to play for such a high standard and I get to play against like all of these different teams and stuff that are like really good teams and all the teammates are really nice. So yeah, I like basically everything about playing for Arsenal.
So my name's Leon. I play number 10, which is a central attacking midfielder. And then I also play striker, which is obviously number 9 who scores goals, or winger. Because I'm quite fast, so I'm quite good at playing winger.
We were like really happy when I got signed because he's been at Arsenal for a long time. Whereas I've
more
only
than half
done
my
it
life.
for about a season.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I got into Arsenal, we were very happy because now we both played for Arsenal. Like
we always dreamed of us both playing for Arsenal in the same team. That didn't quite happen, but at least we both play for Arsenal.
Who's been the biggest influence in your career so far?
probably my mum and dad, just because they've taken me to all of these different places and like we've been helped me practice in the garden, and basically they've done so much to help me like carry on in football and improve a lot.
My dad takes me basically anywhere, even though it's Southampton, he'd come and watch. Instead of just putting me on the coach and getting there, he'd come and watch. And my mum washes all the clothes, does everything.
What's it like training with your sister?
It's fun and convenient because it's quick, and I like playing with her because she gives me a challenge.
What type of training do you and Tegan do together outside of Arsenal?
We usually have, say, me in this goal and Tegan in that goal, and we just do one-on-ones. Or we do this thing called goalie training, where I would just take shots and she'd be in goal and shoot against me, and then I'd save it and take a shot.
Me. She even knows it's me.
No,
it's me.
Not
it's
necessarily.
Me. Yes, necessarily. Everything airily, it's me. It's me. Me.
We're actually the same because we're competitive in not just football but basically everything.
No, it's me.
I can do an around the world more consistently, Leon, and I can do a crossover more consistently.
I can still do around the world and crossover.
Yeah, but he's not as good.
Yeah, you do it more often.
And I can do, my keepy-uppy record is more than his, so I'm better at keepy-uppies.
You're not better.
No, yeah, my record is 465, his is like 1.
No, mine's like 420 or something.
No, it's not.
Welcome back to Cheltenham Town, where Cheltenham are now winning 1-0 against Brislington Ladies in the second qualifying round of the Vitality Women's FA Cup. I'm here with Emily, who's a supporter of Cheltenham Town. Emily, you were telling me that your sister plays for the under-17s and the youth, but you're watching the ladies today.
Yeah.
Do you come down here a lot, and how great is it to be back? Because we haven't been able to come down, have we?
Yeah, we haven't been able to come down a lot, but it is great to come back and feel the atmosphere of everyone being back here.
How much did you miss it?
I've missed it a lot.
And Emily, obviously this is a great game that we can't take our eyes off, but what is the best thing about coming down and watching Cheltenham Town?
The best thing coming down is that obviously I'm in the youth, so it'll be here to like inspire to what I can come into, and if this team's still running when I end up coming older, it'll be to see what I can come into and see if there's still enough support around, and to see what I can come into and a great team that will probably still be here.
Absolutely, and some of these players might still be playing when you come through.
Maybe.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it. And right now we're going to catch up with England Deaflympian Claire Stancliff, who's represented her country despite a lot of challenges, and she wants others to be able to do the same and have equal opportunities.
I started playing football when I was in primary school. My parents were huge football fans and they got me involved with it. Girls' football wasn't massive back then, so I always used to get the comments about, oh, you're a girl, you can't play football, that sort of thing. But I think I proved them wrong. My biggest challenge was the fact that I was a girl playing football. It wasn't a big thing back then. Being deaf didn't really affect me. I didn't realise how deaf I was as a child. I was just in this bubble. I thought I could do what everyone else could do. But also when I play football, I don't feel different from everybody else. I probably realised when I was just about 16 or 17, so when I left school after my GCSE, I got really high grades and I decided to go to sixth form. And because my statement was taken away from me, I struggled a lot in school and I ended up leaving halfway through the year because I just couldn't cope. And I think it was then that I realised how much I missed out on. And I didn't realise how deaf I was. I think at that point it was a key turning point for me, because that was when I started to explore about deaf football, and I came across the Great Britain Deaf Women's Football Team, and I got in contact with them, and I got a trial from that point there. It was a big shock to the system, but also I think because I didn't know any other deaf people, I think that side of things was more of a shock, like the deaf culture, the deaf community, seeing people use sign language. I didn't have a clue what they were saying, but it was such a big experience that made me want to get to know more about it. It kind of helped me in terms of life in general. I could have gone downhill from that point, but actually I went the other way and it just opened up so many doors for me. I decided to apply for college and I did a sports course there, and then that led me to go to university, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without being involved in football. It gave me the confidence I needed to do that. I literally had no confidence whatsoever when I left school. I still don't think I'm that confident now. I do think that on the pitch my confidence has grown. I feel that I am a better player because of what I've been through, but I'm still a little bit shy in team situations. I've also tried to give back in a way to maybe some young deaf children that don't know anyone that's deaf, anyone that's struggling in school, and I've met up with them just for them to see that it's okay to be deaf and that there is an England team that they could play for in the future. There was one girl that I met when she was about 9 years old, and she was struggling with being in school. She couldn't really communicate with people, and now she's at a centre of excellence. She plays in the PDC, she's thriving, and it won't be long before she's in the England squad. That's up there with the other achievements. I think being able to give back is something that everyone should do. I think we have a platform to show that what we've got, like a really good team, the standards there, and if we don't do that, they're not going to know about us and they're not going to know what they can achieve. I think that's maybe in a way, well, maybe why I do it, because I didn't have that opportunity, and for a young child, that's massive. I would have loved to have done it. So if I'm able to give somebody else that opportunity, then I'll do whatever I can.
go here then, and it's Cheltenham Town 3, Brislington 0. And we'll be catching up with Cheltenham's Sammy Holsworth at the final whistle. But before that, we've been catching up with Zaneta Wyne from California, and Megan Faringa has been chatting to her about life at Glasgow City.
So, how does a girl from California end up in Glasgow?
That is an interesting question. I think I can speak for anybody who has a passion to do a certain occupation, whatever it is, and sometimes that takes you to places that you never would have guessed you'd be. So I think that's kind of how someone from California like myself ends up in Glasgow, just following a passion.
So where else is football and your passion taking you then?
A handful of different places. Finland, Cyprus, Iceland, twice. England, Norway, and then here in Scotland. I've found and got along with people from very different backgrounds and races, and I just found this common unity of, oh, we both play football, and we can have a joke, a laugh, and I don't know, it's really cool.
And you'd mentioned that you can fit your entire life into 2 suitcases.
Pretty much.
So obviously you can't fit all of California in that, but is there any way that you can kind of bring a little bit of California to Scotland?
I have a few photos that I like to bring and just hang up. I have this tile that says beach and back that a really good friend of mine, their mom gave that to me. And that kind of just reminds me of home. And that phrase is just sentimental to me. And then I also have my dog had passed away a few years ago, so I carry his bandana with me everywhere. But yeah, it's on my bag too.
How would you say Glasgow compares to all the other cities that you've gotten to live and see?
There's a lot happening here. Like, this isn't even, I think, the central area. This is a bit off of the central area, and it's a really good place to just have brunch. Chai tea or chai latte or a coffee, have a walk in the park. So I think there's just a lot going on and that you can do even amongst COVID right now. So I just enjoy the social life, the social aspect.
Do you remember the first time that you ever met Zaneta? What was that?
I think she pulled up and we were getting our COVID tests.
What a way to meet each other.
And I was just like, hey, and I don't know. I don't really remember after that, but we just got to chatting and just hit it off kind of instantly.
And what is your absolute favorite thing about playing football?
I don't know. I just love it. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel free. Like, there's so much to the game, not only just playing, but the people you meet and the relationships you form and all the opportunities and experiences you get to have through football. I think it's really amazing. So just everything. It's brought me a lot of joy in my life and a lot of hardships too, but it's worth it in the end, of course.
Biggest culture shock you've had since either moving to Glasgow or Europe, just out of the United States? What is the biggest shock?
I think I've already said this one before, but the changing room situation was, I think, the biggest one for me initially. Because in America, you don't normally change in front of everybody and take showers in front of everyone. It's just not part of our culture, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal because you're all females and whatever. But yeah, so when I first went overseas and the first away game, everybody just gets naked. I was like, okay, well, I didn't plan for this. I don't have a towel. I don't have anything to take a shower. Like, I just didn't plan for it. And so, in hindsight, it's not that big of a deal, but it was a bit of a shock for me.
Do you find that being away in all these different places have helped you gain a confidence, or is it more about just understanding who you are as a person?
I think putting yourself into situations where they leave you a bit vulnerable, and then hopefully you find your sense of you in that vulnerable state. Definitely, if you're successful, it can bring confidence over time. And so putting yourself into a completely new space, area, people, really pushes you to kind of reach out of your comfort zone. Like, I wouldn't say I'm the most social, but I think, like you said, going and being in a different place has pushed me to be more social, and I think in turn has, yes, built confidence, for sure.
And the league has just started in Scotland. You can keep up to date with results, fixtures and dates. It's all at Scottish Women's Football. We've finished here at Cheltenham Town 3, Brislington 0. I'm joined with Sammy Horsworth. Sammy, you're sponsored by Ballers. Great win for you today. Through to the next round, the third qualifying round. What do you think of the performance today? It was a great game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good game. Physical at times, a bit of a battle. But we dug in deep. We had to come off the back of two not so great results, to be honest, and put in a performance today. But it was well deserved by the team.
I know you've got one more qualifying round to go, but at this point do you start looking at the first round proper and start thinking, can we get a big team here?
No, I think just like with the league, we're taking it one game at a time. We've got to focus on the next opposition, make sure that we're well prepared and putting in good performances.
And you're sponsored by Ballers then.
Yes.
How important has that been for you?
It's massive really, because I think a lot in this league, girls, we're struggling for sponsors and getting our name out there, and especially with the coverage, there doesn't seem to be a lot of it at the moment. So it's quite nice for somebody to come in. It's quite refreshing. Come in, want to come down to training. It really gets the girls involved, and they're loving it. So it's nice for everybody really. I think a lot of the younger girls, they look up to us. And they think actually that could be me one day. So it's quite nice to see that they're still coming. They're still coming out to support us. They're still playing on a Sunday morning. So it's quite nice really.
Well, thank you so much, Sammy. Congratulations on progressing to the next round and good luck for the season. And thank you for watching this episode of Ballers. Follow us on social media, find us there, tell us what you think, and we'll see you again soon. Ballers, make way for the girls.